It was just after midnight when Rachel stepped out of the airport terminal, her small suitcase bumping behind her on the cracked pavement. The flight had been delayed by over 2 hours, her phone was at 12%, and the only thing she wanted was to get to her Airbnb, shower, and collapse into bed. She opened the Uber app, requested a ride, and waited near the pickup zone, wrapping her arms around herself against the cool spring breeze. A black SUV rolled up 5 minutes later. The license plate matched. Rachel approached the vehicle, and the driver, a man in his 40s, heavy-set with thinning hair, lowered the window slightly. "Rachel?" he asked, his voice low. She nodded, and he unlocked the doors with a click. "Yep, that's me." She climbed into the back seat. As soon as the door shut, she heard the locks click again, this time manually. Not unusual, she told herself. Some drivers lock doors for safety. Still, it felt deliberate. The SUV pulled away from the curb. "Heading to Sycamore Street, right?" he said, his eyes on the road. "Yeah," Rachel replied, double-checking the address in the app. "It should be about a 25-minute drive." "I know a shortcut," the driver said casually, turning left when the map clearly suggested going right. "App doesn't always get it right at night." Rachel's brows knit slightly. Okay, as long as it's safe." He chuckled. "Safe as houses." The tone didn't comfort her. She glanced at her phone. 11% battery. No signal. Just the buffering wheel spinning at the top of the screen. Great. She looked up and realized they were already away from the main road, heading down a quiet, tree-lined street with no streetlights, no other cars, no houses, just forest. "So, how long have you been driving for Uber?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. The driver didn't respond immediately. Then, "Long enough." The answer was short, clipped. She didn't like that. She didn't like the way his hands gripped the wheel, either, or the way he kept glancing at her in the rearview mirror, even though he wasn't smiling. He wasn't checking traffic. He was just looking. She pulled her jacket tighter. "It's a nice night," she said, her voice too loud in the silence. The driver didn't reply. The road narrowed. Potholes. Overgrown branches brushing against the windows. Where the hell were they? Rachel leaned forward slightly. "Hey, I think the app was showing a different route. Are you sure this is the right way?" The driver's jaw tightened. "I told you. Shortcut." His tone was final, sharp. She sank back into the seat. Her fingers crept toward her bag. Inside, somewhere, was her pepper spray. She kept it for nights like this, just in case. But her bag was zipped tight, and she didn't want to make noise. Not yet. Her heart was beginning to race. 10 minutes passed. Or maybe more. Time felt strange. The car twisted through winding roads she didn't recognize. Not even on the map when it briefly flickered back to life. No familiar landmarks. No signal again. No way to text anyone. Just the two of them. Alone. Somewhere. Suddenly, the driver spoke again.
"Do you live here alone, or is someone waiting for you?" Rachel's mouth went dry. "My boyfriend," she lied quickly. "He's home. He's tracking my ride. Always does." A small smirk curled on the man's lips. "That's smart. Real smart." He didn't sound threatened. He sounded amused. She gripped her phone tighter. No signal. 8%. Her breathing quickened. She had to do something. "Hey, can we just pull over for a second?" she asked, forcing a laugh. "I think I left something at the airport. Maybe I should call and check." "We're almost there," he said flatly. "Just wait." But the thing was, he hadn't even entered the destination into his GPS. She could see his screen. No route was displayed, just a blank map. That's when it hit her. He wasn't taking her to the Airbnb. He was taking her somewhere else, somewhere off the grid. Rachel's chest tightened. She reached down and slowly, quietly unzipped her bag, found the spray, slid it into her coat pocket. Her hands trembled. The car suddenly veered off the asphalt and onto a gravel path. It crunched beneath the tires. They were entering a wooded clearing. No lights, no houses, just open dirt, trees, darkness. He slowed the vehicle, put it in park, didn't turn around, just sat there. Rachel didn't wait. "I need to get out," she said, her voice loud, urgent. "Now!" He didn't move, didn't answer, just kept his hands on the wheel. Then she saw him reach toward the center console. Something clicked, not the gear shift, something else. She yanked the door handle, locked, tried the other side, locked. "Hey!" she shouted, banging her palm on the glass. "Let me out!" The man turned slowly. His eyes glinted in the rearview mirror. "You should calm down. You're going to hurt yourself." "Let me out!" she screamed, slamming her shoulder against the door. He started to turn toward her. She didn't wait, pulled the pepper spray from her pocket, aimed at his face, and fired. He howled in pain, clutching his eyes, swearing. Rachel fumbled for the door again, still locked. She threw her weight against it once, twice, then reached over his seat and hit the unlock switch. The doors popped open. She flung her door open and ran. The woods closed in around her. Branches tore at her clothes. Her breath came in gasps. Behind her, she heard the car door slam, heavy footsteps pounding after her. She didn't look back, just ran, dodging trees, tripping, scrambling to her feet again. The dark felt alive, every shadow a fret, every sound a scream. She saw a light ahead, distant, dim, maybe a house, maybe a road. She sprinted toward it, lungs burning. Behind her, his voice echoed through the trees. "You're making this harder than it needs to be." She didn't stop, couldn't. Her legs were jelly, her vision blurred, but the light grew closer. A porch, a house. She stumbled up the steps and pounded on the door. "Help!" she cried. "Please, he's chasing me!" The porch light flicked on. An old man opened the door in a bathrobe, eyes wide. "What in God's name?" "Call the police!" she screamed. "Please, he's chasing me!" The man ushered her inside, locked the door, picked up the phone. She collapsed on the floor, shaking. Moments later, red and blue lights pierced the night. The forest behind her swallowed whatever monster had followed. They never found him, but Rachel didn't care. She was alive. And after that night, she never took another Uber alone again.